There we go. So I just wanted to, before I get started on my message, I just want to just talk for a minute about the disharmony in the world and our place in it. I think this disharmony and all of the protests that are going on are exactly the right thing that need to be going on right now in humanity. That's the only way I can see to make change. And I feel that the momentum is on our side and that the universe is telling us it's finally time for change. I believe that this is what we're learning today, and this is the answer to the questions that we've been sending out to the universe. That doesn't mean that I'm for all the looting and smashing and burning and all that, but I am highly in favor of the continuing protests. And I just want to remind everybody that the changes that we're looking for, the changes that all of us want to see, because I believe that's what CUL stands for, is one humanity. And I believe this one humanity concept begins with each one of us. There's only so much one person can do, but one person can do something. So I'm asking you to please, if you have the opportunity, speak up. Speak up in a kind and loving way, but speak up. I did that a couple of times when I was bartending, and it was pretty enlightening for me. One gentleman told me that he was disgusted by all the Chinese restaurants because, well, you know how Orientals are, and I said, I don't know what you mean. I'm married to an Oriental. Of course, anybody that knew Arvel knows he's not Oriental. But I just, this was in Nashville. The next time was something derogatory about blacks, and I said, what are you talking about? I'm married to a black. And it just is so enlightening, and it's so freeing, because I think the thing that absolutely appalled me was
Very cool.
That somebody had the audacity to look at me as a white woman and just assume that I felt the same way that they did. I don't know about you, but that just pissed me off. Hence the comments.
In Alzheimer's treatment, that's what's known as the therapeutic lie.
Good. That I felt very therapeutic. I felt very healed. All right, so anyway, that's my little speech for today. Embrace what's going on, and love your neighbors, whatever color, shape, size, gender bias, it doesn't matter. God didn't say, just love only those that look like you. The Bible said, and most every other sacred writings that I've read say the same thing. Love each other, love each other. And if we stand for nothing else at Center of Universal Light, we stand wholeheartedly right in the center of one humanity. So thanks for letting me speak my piece this morning. All right, so a man I know had the worst luck with women you can just imagine. All of his friends wondered why he kept dating the same woman. They would date, he would tell us he's in love, and a few months later he'd leave, or she'd leave and take him to the cleaners. He'd be heartbroken and swear he'd never date again. But, a couple months later, he's right back at it. So once it happened again, he finally had enough, and he cried, God, why does this keep happening to me? And God replied, because you were born under the wrong astrological sign. And the man replied, that was the dumbest answer I've ever heard. And God told him, you want a better answer? Ask a better question. Why does this keep happening to me? Why do I keep attracting the same kind of person? Why do I keep getting myself in these situations? We've all asked ourselves that. And sometimes we shake our fist and ask why. I've had my own share of personal tragedies that had me asking why, up until I was about 36. And then the question was a little more systemic, as in, why am I having to go through these tragic events? Well, the universe answered my question. Why don't you ask better questions? It took a few months, but I started reading books that inspired me, and I realized that God had finally answered. And so I began asking what questions, like, what is my purpose? What can I learn from this? And so I started asking those better questions that start with a what. What's my purpose? What can I learn from this? Is there some good to come out of this? And as I kept asking the questions over and over, they started taking on a softer tone. And then I began to receive the answers that I was looking for. So one thing that was obvious was there is no answer, at least no good empowering answer to any question that begins with why. In fact, Orville used to tell me, in Native culture, there is no answer to the question why. So I believe that now. It's not always easy, and it requires a mind shift, but an intentional decision to trust that the universe is teaching us something and that it's for our own ultimate good and the good of others around us. And that we can impact others with what we're learning. So now you see that the trouble is we get into these tough spots and we start asking these disempowering questions. But the universe is always a good sport and always tries to do its best to answer them in the spirit in which they were asked, if you know what I mean. So the universe will sort through all the data that ever was and return an answer to you like, because you came from the wrong side of the tracks, because your name has too many vowels, because your father wouldn't let you go to Boy Scout camp when you were 11, or any number of ridiculous answers that are in themselves ridiculous and frankly in total vibrational alignment with the questions you asked. So you see, the universe does have a pretty good sense of humor. So today I want to talk about asking empowering questions to get empowering answers. Not the how can I win the lottery questions, because I suspect the universe will come back with, you gotta play to win. Or meet me halfway and buy a ticket. But life-changing questions, the kinds of questions that come as a result of a divorce, a devastating illness, maybe the loss of a home, and from those situations you keep finding yourself in over and over again. So are you sincere in asking questions? Are you really looking for an answer that will change your life, that will change the outcome of a situation? Because when you receive your answer to high quality questions, you'll instantly know it. You'll feel it in your heart and it will make sense and you will have no doubt about it. My ex used to have a long list of he who shall not be named. And I'm not spilling any beans here because he already talked freely about it in one of his previous talks at CUL. So this was a list of those in the music business he felt had done him wrong, like in relationships and music deals and promises not kept or something he simply took offense to. In other words, he was blaming all of them, and frankly, I suspect all of me too, for his career not turning out the way he thought it should. And let me tell you, that was a long, bloody list generated over several years. So what I actually heard him asking was, why can't everybody just do what I want them to do? Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? I've thought that too, actually. But after so many years of this, I finally got tired and I said, we're running out of friends and allies, not to mention notepads. And you know, there's only one common denominator, you. Yeah. So he actually took it better than I expected, and I appreciated that. I don't know that it affected any change or not, but he took it really well. So anyway, the list started getting shorter and shorter, and I think finally he threw it away. Maybe he burned it and allowed them to go back up into the universe, into their highest good. So that was a good thing. But when you shake your fist at the sky and shout, why? There really is no empowering answer, is there? There's some higher quality questions that will help you get the high quality answers you need in order to empower yourself to make those changes in your life. So before you ask the question, first ask yourself, when all is said and done, what do I truly want from this experience? Peace, divine purpose, trust, confidence, and love? Then you can ask the question, how can I grow from this? Where is my lesson in this? How can I expand my reality of the situation? Who do I need to become to attract a divine life partner? And the big one, what is my soul's purpose? Decide what it is you want from these questions. What do you want out of your life in these areas? Be honest with yourself. And probably the best time to ask these empowering questions is when you're at the bottom of the barrel. You got no place to go but up. You've already spent all your energy on anger and frustration and grief, and you've already asked all your friends for advice, and then only then can you begin to formulate those questions. How can I find meaning in this situation? Now, just what if? What if you just got yourself into alignment with a non-judgmental, non-shaming, non-blaming answer? Get yourself in alignment with it. You know the type of outcome you want from it. Maybe it's peace. You may not know how to get it, but you know that you want to feel peace in this situation. Get yourself into alignment with it. And what if you just allow that answer to expand your field of consciousness and awareness of God or the universe in just that way that you can now see the bigger picture and where you fit into it? Don't you think that would help a lot? So now you know the way to frame an empowering question in order to get an empowering answer. Here's some steps for making the ask. Number one, first and foremost, be sincere and be concise. Until you can ask with some degree of certainty an empowering question and with some degree of sincerity for an empowering answer, how can you possibly know whether or not you receive it? How can you know? It's like, I don't know, like trying to hit the side of a barn with a badminton bird or something, you know? Use your emotions as a guide to ask the right questions. And if you don't get a sincere aho, retool that question. And once you get the question, ask it and relax. Once you've framed your question in just the way you want, with all the sincerity you can muster in your heart, just smile and relax and know that the universe is on it. Then watch for signs. Keep your eyes peeled for the little signs here and there that guide you to where you exactly want to be, because the universe will take you there. Be aware of any thoughts or memories or nudges or inner intuition that come up when you least expect them. Animal totems is a great way for me to get my messages. It has been for many years. If there's anything I'm struggling about, that I have questions about, I ask it, I relax into it, and it never fails. I see a fox, I see a coyote, whatever it is, I see it. And what do? I immediately run to my book. What does that mean? What does that mean? Sometimes it comes in dreams, but however that is, just keep an eye out for them and release any judgments you might have about them. Like, don't, you might see a coyote and you go, well, that's stupid. What's a coyote got to do with it? I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss it. Just allow it to be and release any judgment about it. Number 4, the universe always has your back. I've talked about this before, and I'm not the only one. I think Gabrielle Bernstein talked about it. And this is crucial. Trust that the universe will always do right by you. It will never lead you astray, ever. It has a much broader perspective of life and what your soul's purpose is than you do, and it will always bring you the right answer. But keep in mind, when you ask those empowering questions, the signs you receive might lead you somewhere else entirely. That could be exactly where you wanted to end up in the first place, couldn't it? You just didn't know it. I'm living proof of that.
Amen, sister.
Right on.
Yeah, amen.
Amen. And last but not least, be willing to make the changes. You know, when the universe gives you the answers, you got to be willing to make the changes. If your life's not working, you got to be willing to look at those bugaboo areas where you keep failing over and over. The universe is trying to get your attention. And it's in that attention that it's urging you to ask the right questions. It will never give you the answer without your asking, because you won't be in a state to hear it unless you do. And then stop living your life small. Stop living your life by accident. Stop seeing your life as a Shakespearean tragedy, right? Your life is not a disaster or a waste. Your life is a beautiful dance of thoughts, desires, outcomes, challenges, dreams, thrills. Before you joined us on planet Earth, you saw all of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and guess what? You came anyway.
Yeah.
I can just see you and the universe sitting around talking about all the possibilities around the physical life you were contemplating, knowing it would be an exciting journey, not an easy one, but an exciting one. And when the universe says, well, what do you think? You answered with the one why question that made any sense at all. Why not me? Thanks, everybody. I'm Kimberly Kelley. Let's take a minute to have a meditation now. All right, everybody, let's take 3 deep breaths. Right where you are, 3 deep breaths.
Hey, thanks.
And as you take the breaths, just allow yourself to relax into your chair, into the couch, wherever you happen to be seated. Allow the blessings of the day wash over you. Allow the love of your fellow CULers just be with you. And as we join here all together in this meditation, allow the reality, the truth of one humanity to absorb into your heart. And let's take it from there. As you feel one humanity in your chest, you feel it start glowing. And with each breath you take, that glow gets brighter and brighter. The reality of the love that we feel for each other, not just CUL, but for many others, grows stronger and stronger. To where we become blind to appearances, but with full vision of the truth of who we are, of who our soul is. Knowing that we really are all connected. And so as you feel that yummy, juicy feeling in your heart, expand and glow brighter every breath you take, every exhale. Feel that glow just expand through your chest into the room all around you. Just let it permeate your entire room. And as you continue to breathe, see that breath, see that glow of one humanity expand beyond the walls of your room or your house or your building into your community. And continue expanding that with every breath into your city, into your state, beyond the state lines, to the country, to the world, to the entire planet, and finally the universe as we know it. Allow it to continue expanding with every inhale and exhale. And as your glow expands, you feel the expansion of others. You feel the change that they are making. You see the change that they are making. And you love the change that they're making. So just allow that precious energy of your heart, of one humanity, just pulsate through the globe for a minute. And then we'll start bringing it in. So in silence, we will allow it to simply glow. So with your next inhale, start bringing that back into your body, slowly, slowly. Bringing the essence of others who've expanded their heart, their humanity, taking bits of that back in with you. Allow them to take parts of yours. The more you give away, the more you receive. So just allow, just allow. Bring it in. Bring it in into your heart. Bring it into your body. And feel all the different colors within your heart. And see all the different colors in your heart create a rainbow. And know that you can access that rainbow anytime you want. Just say the word rainbow, and you will instantly remember this meditation, the good feeling, that juicy feeling in your heart. Make it yours and share it today and share it every day until the world changes, until the world feels our humanity for everyone. Take another deep breath and start coming back into awareness here in the room, in the Zoom room. Wiggle your feet, your toes, and gently open your eyes when you're ready, at your own rate and pace. Okay, is everybody back? I love that visual. Okay, I'm going to unmute everybody.